everyone. Today I'd like to introduce you to the Consultant Planner available on FamilySearch.org. To find the Consultant Planner, navigate to your Family Search homepage and click on the question mark icon in the top right-hand corner. Clicking on the question mark icon at the top right of the Family Search homepage will open up this drop-down box. To find the Consultant Planner, click on Helper Resources. There is lots of great information on this page. For this training, we will concentrate on just the Consultant Planner. The Consultant Planner will be on the right-hand side of your screen under Planner. It will list your name and say My Planner under your name. Continuing down the right-hand side, you will see different little headings. After My Planner, you will see People You Are Helping. There will be a person icon with a plus sign next to it and the words Add Someone. Below that, everyone that you have added or that a patron has accepted your invitation will be listed. You are given access for 1 year, but the patron can delete your access at any time. When a patron's access is about to expire, Family Search will give you a reminder as seen in this slide. To the right of the name are 3 dots. If you click on the dots, a drop-down will appear. This is an easy way to either renew your permission or to delete the person from the planner. Now let's walk through the steps of adding someone to your planner. First, you navigate to the Helper Resources page and click on Add Someone. When you click on Add Someone, this is the screen that comes up. When you start to fill in the name, you will be presented with possible matches if they are a member of your ward or stake. Click on the person that you want to help and it will autofill for you. The program will ask you to select a method to send the invitation. If you click on Send an Email, the email will autofill with the email that the ward or stake has on record for that person. If the person is not a church member, you will need to fill in their name and ask the person for their email address. Every person who signs up for a Family Search account gets assigned an ID number. A helper number is an identification number that will allow someone, like you as a consultant, to use FamilySearch.org on behalf of another person. You will use the helper number if you decide to use a birth date or a username to connect to Family Search on behalf of someone else. This is the email that you will receive once permission is given for you to access Family Search on behalf of your patron. Now that I have access to my patron's account, I can now go back to my list of people I am helping. When I click on the name from my list, I land here. Notice the green bar at the top saying You Are Helping. As you look down the left-hand side, you will see several icons that I will briefly touch on in a minute. For now, I want to show you where to find the Consultant Planner. As of this training, the Plans tab is the last icon on the left. Click on the Plans tab. Click on the big green dot that has the plus sign in the middle that says Create New. This is the planner template that comes up when you hit the Create button. I've known other consultants that use their own format, but I've been pleased with this one, so I continue to use it. The following slides are some examples of how you might use this form. This is a basic plan I created just to keep me on track with my new to family history friend. One rule that I have for making my plans is that I plan a lot, but keep my first meeting and most meetings to 1 hour or less, and I cover only what the patron wants at that time. I then make notes to help them and me going forward. This was a family in my area that was really excited to meet with me. I promised I would have something for every age, and I think I was able to do that. The mom and I found that we were related through a common ancestor, Charlotte Amelia Van Orden. As we checked around, we found there are a total of 5 families in our neighborhood that are related to each other through Charlotte. We found a mission journal for one of the ancestors that we shared and had the 15-year-old son read a portion of it. The family's 17-year-old daughter has lovely, long, blonde hair. I found a newspaper article, purely by accident and thanks to Family Search Memories, that mentioned an ancestor that was killed in an auto accident. Unfortunately, I had to leave the article for the daughter to read on her own because of a work conflict with her. The article mentioned that the woman killed in the accident was known for her lovely long blonde hair. It was a lucky find, but it did make a slim connection for the family and it made them smile. Sometimes you just have to point out similarities, no matter how small. The 7-year-old son played a matching game on the BYU Family History Technology Lab website. He did the easy one by himself, and then he challenged his 15-year-old brother to the hardest matching game setup that they had, and the 7-year-old won. They learned some names and faces of ancestors. You can also take a screenshot when you're done with that so they can hang it up in the room and actually try to learn to match names and faces. The dad is a total tech geek, and he played with all of the buttons, icons, and such that he could find on Family Search. In the days following our visit, I found that the husband had reserved one ordinance for the temple. Notice that there's an Actions tab in the top left corner. It allows you to print your planner, download, or delete it. It also allows you to see the open plans that you have with that person or the family. I usually print 2 copies, one for me so that I can work with it just while I'm with the patron, and one to leave with them. I find that younger people will have the notes on their phone or whatever, but I still am in that spot where I like my paper when I'm helping others. Either way, whatever works for you. As I've played with the planner, I've learned a few things. When I'm going to visit a family, I find out the children's names and ages so that I can do a little matching of age-appropriate activities. I've found that 2 to 5-year-old little people love to make simple pedigree charts when I provide pictures of their parents and grandparents. This is one activity that is easy to pull together because of Facebook and other social media. Remember though, these ideas are just that, ideas. Enjoy coming up with your own fun ways to interest people around you in your area. These ideas aren't hardcore family history in the purest sense of the word, but it's a fun way to develop interest that can grow as the person grows. A couple of final thoughts. Take the time to explore the discovery ideas and the family history activities. There are lots of ideas presented here and links provided to help engage the family. I like using the notes icon too. You can click create and it gives you the opportunity to write some notes of what has been worked on so that the person can go forward and build on what they have learned. These notes stay there so you can refer back to them. Another fun way to get started is using the fan chart to show families their ancestors' birth countries. The fan chart is bright and catches the family's attention. There are many ways to view the fan chart using the different categories in the fan chart drop-down menu. Discussions tend to follow. When working with patrons and families, I find that it is important to know whether they would like ongoing help and direction or if they just want to learn one specific item. I make notes to myself and follow up with those who would like to learn more. I try to let the patrons and the families dictate the friendship, but I do follow up with them when Family Search adds new tools and activities. I hope that this training has been helpful and that it spurs some ideas for you. Please visit our homepage, fh.lib.byu.edu, or just Google BYU Family History Library to learn more about our virtual help, one-on-one help, in-library classes, and library resources. And be sure to subscribe to our BYU Family History Library YouTube channel for more short family history videos and in-depth webinars. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.